every episode.
And welcome back to A Wilder Mind.
We're live.
Ooh, that was a good snap.
Hold on.
New cans, too.
Episode 3. Welcome to it. I went to a...
Cheers.
I drank before the cheers, boys.
Cheers, sir. I got it.
Cheers.
You got to touch.
Got to touch.
There it is.
Cheers.
Pickerel on here. It's a pickerel.
I like these new cans. That means that summer's coming. It's fishing season.
Yep.
I like it.
Good stuff. Well, episode number 3. We're cranking them right out.
Yeah.
Happy to be back here.
I am too.
What do you guys think?
I think a lot's happening right now in the world.
Yeah.
A lot is happening.
Yeah.
Like every single day, stuff is going crazy.
Every minute.
Every minute.
Of every day.
Yeah. Especially in sports. Like right now in sports, I think if we're going to kick off something or if you got anything, I think sports right now, we just had the trade deadline for
they opened up
for the
free
NHL
agency.
and then they open up a free agency for the NFL. And
Yeah.
like, I can't stop staring at ESPN, all the different like sports networks and going through because every second there's like massive stuff happening in the sports world. It's pretty crazy.
Steelers aren't really doing anything, but
DK, we got DK.
we don't have a QB, but we got DK.
DK he's got like a walker coming soon. He's getting old.
Dude.
He's not the DK used to be, but he's DK still.
He's DK.
He's a badass.
He's DK.
He had one of the greatest combines in the history of the combine ever.
Yeah.
But like all that video that you see from the combine was impressive, but to me, still the most impressive video that exists is when he tracks that guy down.
Chased him down. Chased him.
It's the greatest video.
It's incredible.
It's unreal. Like if you want to see a superhuman athlete,
Yeah.
that video does it.
It's pretty incredible that the Steelers have the two probably of the top receivers in the entire NFL and nobody to throw it to. Yeah. We have no quarterback route. We're actually no one rostered as a quarterback right now.
Is Russell out?
No, he's just in agency contracts. He's
Yeah,
not listed
they'll
yet.
sign him.
So we don't have Russell. Of course, they're throwing around Rodgers. There's all this work. Even Big Ben came back out of retirement, put a helmet on, and was like, "You give me DK and GP, I got a few throws left in me." I thought that was fantastic.
Did you see what Boz put out, the kicker?
Yeah.
Boz put out this thing. He's standing there holding the ball, and he's like, GP and DK down there somewhere. I got this. Just put it up.
Yeah.
Just throw it up.
Yeah, so some notable free agency moves in the sports world, which is always fun this time of year. And then, of course, the trade deadline. Biggest story probably is Marchand.
Oh.
Marchand going out of, and I know it hits home for you because
Not for me. I
it hits your physical home is when it hits.
Yeah.
But your wife is a Marchand, and oh man, I feel bad.
She had a post
now.
yesterday with just a sad, like, I think she was crying in the post.
Yeah.
She's cried like 7 times.
And it was him kind of saying he needed to do it for the team. And, you know, it's just what I understood what I needed to do. And that's what the team needed. So I left.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
There's another video floating around out there, one of these AI videos of him doing a press conference.
Yeah.
If you get the chance, watch that one. It's really,
Is it racy?
It's spicy.
It's funny.
It's funny.
That's awesome.
It's really funny. But no, it does. She's been crying since the day of. And we had this conversation. I said, well, now you have to decide what your fandom is. Is it really with the Bruins?
Yeah.
Or has it just been Marchand this whole time?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's an interesting conversation. Like, I'm trying to think of like when
Because Florida's the enemy.
Yeah,
Let's be honest. They knocked him out of the
100%.
playoffs. She despises Chucky.
Yeah. Oh.
And I said, what are you going to do when they're on the same line?
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know.
I know. In the morning, the day of the trade deadline, I actually texted Lisa and I said, well, good morning. Today is the day Marchand gets traded to Florida. Completely joking. Like, completely joking with her. She was like, shut up. You're ridiculous. Don't put that in the atmosphere. And the best part is it made it all the way to the deadline. Like nothing happened. And then it happened. And I was like, oh no. I'm like, she's going to be so mad. And I was like, yeah. So but that's an interesting question you pose. Have you guys ever had that before? Do you choose the player or do you choose the team?
So this is what I told her. I said, I have felt exactly how you feel 4 times in my life as a diehard Penguins fan, right? Growing up in Pittsburgh. When the first time was when they traded Recchi. That was devastating for me because he's my favorite player ever. The second time was when they traded Yager. The third time, and probably the worst, this one I would say would be the worst, was when they traded Flower.
I was going to say Flower.
They traded Flower, that stung.
Yep.
And then when they traded Gensel. Like those 4 trades over my lifespan as a fan of the Penguins all hit home. And you got to decide, like, man, do I follow the player? Because I love that guy. You know? I keep coming back to the Berg. I bleed black and gold. It is what it is. But for her, she's like, right now, she's like in purgatory. She's like, I don't really know. Like, do I cheer for Florida? She can't get over the Chucky thing. She's like, I don't know if I could do it. And I'm like, well, figure it out. Either way, I love it. I'd sit there and laugh.
Yeah, I think as a Detroit fan, our great football players just retire. They don't get traded because they're like
Calvin Johnson, Barry.
They just rode into the sunset. You know, so that's kind of brutal. But I think, you know, for baseball, I think about when Gibby got traded. You know, when he went to the Dodgers, I still rooted for him. You know, even though I didn't root for the Dodgers, but I rooted for Gibby. You know, and I think the same thing, even though I wasn't a massive Stafford guy, he did a ton for the city of Detroit. He didn't win a playoff game, but he did a lot for the city of Detroit. And when he moved to LA and was with the Rams, I kind of rooted for him to win one. But it's tough.
Isn't that cool to see, though, like now in sports? I remember when Flower came back to Pittsburgh for the first game. I mean,
celebration.
Oh, talk about, it's literally like, I just think that's so cool. Rather than, get the hell out of here, you suck. You know, it's like everybody understands and appreciates the blood, sweat, and tears that guy had for the organization for how long. And now it's like a celebration. Same with
Stafford, well, they booed the shit out of him the first time he came in. Playoff. It was playoff implications and then a playoff game. He came back this year during the regular season for a game, and they finally they gave him some flowers.
Gave the appreciation.
They threw him some flowers, but which well deserved. You know,
Brady. I mean, Brady was another one. I mean, they held Tom Brady Day, but he had already gone and won a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay. But when they came back, it was Brady Day. I mean, they're not going to forget the five or six that they won with him. So. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, they tied the Steelers on that one.
They did.
Well, it's a good thing we started in with the football, because if we lead with hockey, we're going to get some viewers and listeners that are going to leave. Because you got to follow ESPN.
That hurts.
I love hockey, but it's the honest truth. For unfortunately, it's the greatest game. I would probably say it really is. It is the greatest game. Team game.
It's hard.
Team game.
It's hard for people to follow on television. They don't necessarily understand some of the rules. The puck's really small. You can't see the players' faces. Like, I think there's some things like that kind of hurt the game a little bit. So I mean, I get it. But when you go see it live,
the locker room, it's unrivaled.
People go see that game live. And I'll never. You remember Langston?
Oh yeah, that's great.
I'll never forget this story. We went back to Pittsburgh one time. We had a meeting with Dick's Sporting Goods, and David Langston, who used to at the time was running Hunter Safety System, was there with us.
Yeah, he was.
And we're like, David, we're going to take you to a Penguins game tonight. And he's like, what's that? And we're like, he's from Alabama. I'll give my best Langston impression. He's like, what's that? I said, well, it's the hockey team here in Pittsburgh. Hockey? It's like, man, isn't that like soccer just on ice? And I'm like, those are fighting words in the hockey world. So we end up going to this game, right? And he's all like, he's never seen a hockey game ever. And it was, I think, right in warm-ups, he's looking at these guys skating by, and we're right on the glass. Family section. These guys are skating by 6'4", 6'5", and he's like, holy hell, these dudes are huge. And then right on the first shift, I think, big hit right in front of him, just explodes, and he gets up out of his seat, and he just goes, golly bum, man. He's like, this is the greatest game in the world. Like, he was just losing it. He's like, I've tried watching on TV. I just can't do it. He's like, but you see a hockey game in person? He's like, it's crazy. So
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, just the hand-eye coordination, the ability to skate, the way they can pass in just boom, 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 move the puck around. It is amazing. I say this. The most skill in any sport is required for hockey. They're not the most athletic. And as much as I am not into the NBA right now, I used to be a huge NBA fan. Those are the best athletes in the world. NBA players are the best athletes in the world. What they can do, at least in professional sports, I should say. It's pretty incredible what they can do. But, hockey is just next level hand-eye. I mean, it's crazy.
Speaking of hockey, you know what today is, right?
The anniversary.
It is.
Of the state championship. I'm going to take a drink of beer for that.
Yeah, sure.
Cheers
on that one. Let's cheers to that.
Yeah, this is the anniversary on
3 years.
3 years ago on the Dow Chargers. We won the state championship today. So we We got a text this morning from Coach Blasey.
Yep.
He was a happy anniversary, boys, with a celebration. So
and a phenomenal picture, him brushing his teeth with his state championship ring on. It's like this big in the picture.
Where's your rings,
So I didn't
boys?
I didn't even think about it. I would have wore it.
That was a
I'm just
fail.
busy dumping beer on myself.
Well, if we got any of the boys watching or listening, boys,
Yeah, cheers. Verda.
stick taps.
Verda. That's the other thing is the language around hockey is like you gotta
that's next
shows
level.
like Shoresy. I mean, I laugh so hard when I watch Shoresy, and my wife has no idea. It's like it might as well be in a different language for her, and I'm just cracking up.
Yeah.
I just think it's the funniest thing in the world.
I love hearing people talk about like Letterkenny or Shoresy because it put some of what we've grown up with on the map and like out in the mainstream. And of course now Spittin' Chicklets with Biz and Witt and those guys, like it's put kind of the lingo in the mainstream space. But I remember one of the first conversations I ever had with someone here in Midland was talking about, they're like, have you ever seen this like Letterkenny thing? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, man, like, is that what it's like really like in the hockey? I'm like, it's basically,
it is exactly
spot on.
what it's like.
And it was a gal, and she's like, I don't understand what they're talking about half the time. I understand every single word. So
what's the history of Letterkenny?
I understand it too. I don't. Speaking of that, we take this is a gum pillow. This is a little pillow here.
No, it's a mulch pile. Isn't
this is a little mulch. Well, mulch pile would be the actual.
Yeah.
So this is a lip pillow. So it's a little upper decky, little lip pillow in there, a little lower decky, back where Mama keeps the peanut butter. That's where that one's stuffed. So that's where we're gonna keep it. That right there is how someone in the hockey world would say, I just want to put a Zin in. So little Zinny Crosby.
Yeah.
what I would do for one of
Remember
those.
those days? I remember the amount of logs of
I chewed a
Cope.
can and a half of Copenhagen snuff a day for 20 some years.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. In Dropped, we don't take anything with us, but you took 3 logs of Copenhagen.
And I took a carton and a half of cigarettes.
Yeah, I mean,
literally. I mean, that's
Row
what
day.
I was ripping darts. Those were like raft darts, which meant you.
The shitty
ripped
part
darts.
about that is I chewed every can of and I smoked every cigarette he had because I would be in the back and I'd just be sitting back there.
Sucking in the second hand.
like back in the 80s when parents used to drive their kids to school and they'd just be in there just buffaloing it up.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be on the front of the raft and I'd light a cigarette and I'd just be, just kind of enjoying it in case he'd go, sure, want to have a cigarette? Let's have a cigarette.
have a
Because he's in
smoke.
the back and it would just hit him right in the face every time. And I was like, those were the good old days, man.
Yeah.
That's what got me by is a cigarette and coffee, and I could make it through Drop the whole time.
Well, neither of you guys have that habit now. Proud of you both.
No,
Yeah,
just the
lip pillows?
Just the lip pillows for me.
In
7
case-
millis.
You're
You're going on
gum
over 2 years, right?
I'm going on 3. Oh, I just had 3 years.
Yeah, man.
3 years in December.
For as much as you
Cold turkey.
Yeah, which is insane.
Yeah,
For
that
as
was-
much as you chewed,
that was
like,
crazy.
When you said you quit, that's the first time you've even said you'd quit.
Yeah.
And that was the one and only try.
That was it.
It was done.
I was done.
It's
Wild.
insane.
I was done. I will. Hear me out. I will go back, and I will.
You're planning your
Does that
return?
comfort you?
I'm coming off of IR. I'm on LTIR right now. I'm coming back. It's going to be a while.
Sabbatical.
It's going to be a while.
Yeah.
No, I'll come out of retirement someday when the kids are old and they're gone and they're out of the house. And I'm gonna. I mean, you want to talk about a mulch pile?
Yeah.
It's going to be the full thing, the entire can, and I loved nothing more.
Yeah.
But it's just it's not good for you.
Yeah.
No, it's selfish. And I was like, well, I got kids. I've done me for a long time. I got kids to worry about. So
That makes sense.
It's
I've
a
had
good
a
call.
progression from darts. I used to smoke darts all the time. Then it went to I remember Levi. I used to have Redman Levi, so I go the long
Golden
stuff,
blend.
the golden blend. I used to chew, and I'd just fill up a water bottle, and it was gross because I'd have just water bottles laying around. I'm like, this is brutal. Then I switched to the Grizzly pouches, and I had pouches, and then that was a.
Are you talking about the bear?
We named him Pouches because he was a grizzly, and it was pouches.
Remember Grizzly
from Drop.
Pouches from?
Yeah.
You
Dropped a couple years
stay
ago?
over there,
Stay
pouches.
pouches. So I would name him Pouches. So then I was Grizzly Pouches for a bit, and then eventually I just said, okay, it's time to at least go tobacco free. Like I got to get the tobacco part of it. So then I went to the Grizzly nicotine. So it's not Zins. This is Zins for men.
You guys, so somebody's got
Grizzly.
to, I haven't really looked into this stuff. Somebody's got to walk me through. So it's nicotine, no tobacco. Is that?
Yeah,
the
no
deal?
tobacco. This is just straight nicotine. So you should try one. These are, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Your whole family would yell at me. These are 7 millis. So 7 milligrams. These are the 7 milli gum pillies
Is that?
that you put in. This is what it is.
Love it.
So
7 milli.
Yeah. So like Zinn is
pillies.
like 2 milli, 3 milli, like they're little guys, and then I'd have to throw like 5 or 6 of them in.
It's expensive,
and so it gets aggressive because I'm ripping through cans. So at least with the 7 millis, it's a good setup there. So
it's the chew for church.
it is absolutely the chew
polite.
for church.
It's polite.
It is.
Yeah, no one knows. And then when you take it out, you don't actually like, so if I'm in an uncomfortable position where I have one in and then like something happens and I'm like, oh, I can just put it in my pocket because there's no tobacco stain. So I but I forget about them. So then like my wife is like, there's 20 pouches in the washing machine. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, it's just nicotine. Like, it's fine. It's just white little nicotine, guys.
You remember that?
I feel good about it.
Whenever we go through any business transitions, stressful times, the man chews some pouches.
Oh yeah.
And this is back before the 7 milli gum pillies.
Yes.
This was back in the like legitimate, brown
pouches.
pouches.
The grizzly tobacco pouches.
So the spring happened and the ice thawed in the driveway out at work. And I walked around and there's 100 of them. I swear to God.
It's the phone call page.
It's the phone call area. So I took a picture of like 12 of them and put them in like this one photo with all the different phases of. And then I think I did that with darts too.
You did it with cigarettes when I smoked.
Yep, all different lengths darts. Yeah. I'm like, and so I was like, this was the call that we got this deal, and so I mean it's been your lean in.
It has. I mean it's definitely been a crutch, but like you're right in phases of business, depending on what my tobacco intake was I would walk on the phone. So it's like there's a big deal going on or we're trying to seal something up, I'd walk. And you guys know I pace and there's certain things that trigger me to eat, like to have whether it's a pillow or it's just a dart at the time. And the phone was one of them. And I'd just rip 5 darts on a phone call and I'd just stick them in the same area. And then when I thought you came out and took a picture,
it's unreal.
You're like, well, it's been a rough winter. I'm like, well, we're good now. I'm good.
A lot of deals.
I'm good. A lot of deals going on. That was the old days. Now I don't have to do that. So I pride myself on that.
Yeah. You know what my trigger was? If my eyes were open.
I was going to say,
and sometimes even not. Like they
heartbeat?
Could, heartbeat maybe. Yeah, breathing. That was kind of my trigger.
I promise you that I take one out and put one in. I don't know if there is 100% less time with me like that doesn't have like I have it in all the time. There's no question.
I had a pouch.
You don't know it, but I do.
The last pouch I had, do you remember when that was?
Oh my God! I was just gonna say you haven't had a tobacco. You'll pipe every now and then when we're out on.
I smoke a pipe.
You have a pipe, and that's a celebratory pipe.
Yeah.
You haven't had the tobacco issue that I've battled for a long time. No. This nicotine addiction.
I'm not an addictive guy.
But there was a time when we said if we should get this moose, you need to have one.
I said if we kill a moose tomorrow, I'll rip a pouch with you.
Yeah.
And like I'm a hardcore chewer.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't even with you.
No,
I would have never thrown the Copenhagen.
The snuff, the good stuff.
There's no way.
This was a grizzly.
I said I'll rip a grizz with you if you kill a moose tomorrow. So sure enough, he lights a moose up at like 600 yards with a muzzleloader.
Did you shoot the first cow you saw? Never said it had to be a bull.
Longest shot I've ever made with a muzzleloader.
Longest ever in history with traditions back in the day. Yeah. So anyway, I'm filming and I'm getting we're caping and quartering. Give me one of them things, man. I'm sucking on that baby, and swallowed a little bit, spit a few. Yeah. Start getting warm. It's 35, 38 degrees. Man, I'm getting hot. It's hot. I take off the meat sweater, take it off. I'm down to my T-shirt. I'm getting hotter. And then all of a sudden, man, I think I got a shit. So I say I laid down 8 minutes of caping and quartering. I'm dialed. I'm good.
He's got it.
I told myself I was good. I'm never good, but I was good at that moment. I said, I'm just gonna go over here in the willows real quick. Take a shit, curl up, take a nap. He finds me like 20 minutes later. He's like, and this is day 30 of our drop trip. So we have 0 in our bodies. Yeah. It's like anything that I take, it's going right to my blood.
Yeah.
I was shit-faced on a freaking brown pillow in the middle of the Yukon. How's that happen?
I would never forget. We caped and quartered. We packed it. We were getting ready to put it on the horse, and I go, I gotta see where JB's at. Go over. He's just curled in a bush. He's just
the fetal.
Out. I said, hey, and he gets out. He's like, and he's
But I had when you woke me up, I had hypothermia because I was freezing at that point.
Freezing because he took off all of his stuff because he was so hot. It was a bad scene. He's like, never will I ever do that.
That was the last one I had.
The last one he ever tried.
I don't like. You guys know me. I don't like feeling disoriented. I don't like bush flights. I take lots of cocktail, pill cocktails to get me into the deep ones.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't like that.
Yeah.
They say that if you get sick the first time, you won't be a chewer. But if you don't, and I think that was my issue.
Yeah, I didn't.
First one I had, I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And 23 years later, and
I was good to go. First one I ever had was Cherry Skull. Cherry Skull back in the day. And it was hockey. I mean, hockey locker room, like the back in our time, in the locker room, I mean, everybody was chewing. Everybody, and it was like coaches were like, can I get a chew from you? Like that was a thing back in the day. Obviously today it's not. Yep. But someone gave me Cherry Skull and I was like, this is really good. I was dialed with it and I took it home and I was trying to learn how to pack it. So I was doing like I didn't know what to do. I was trying to learn how to pack it and I did it the wrong way and it blew the lid off it. And I'm like, oh no, it went all over the carpet. So I'm like, I got to get it up. So I vacuumed it up. And I was like, we're good. Parents aren't going to find out. Till my mom turned on the vacuum. And mom turns on the vacuum and it literally spits out cherry.
I remember this. And the kitchen smelled like cherry.
And she's like, what is that smell? Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God. And it was Cherry Skull. Yep. And then I got it was bad setup from there. I got reamed because I had the Cherry Skull. But it didn't stop me from actually going to get more. But
didn't thwart you from future use.
Let's be honest, different times. I had a teacher in high school that used to come by me like, yo, Keith, give me a dip.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I don't have any. He'd be like,
Grim.
He'd be like, lift your leg up.
Yeah.
Lift my pant leg up. And he'd be like, right there in your sock. I'm like, damn it. Here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started chewing snuff because I chewed Skull straight for a while. And then I went to Copenhagen long cut. And then I was the only one of my buddies that really looked old enough to buy chew. And I got sick and tired of people chewing. Like they would just pillage my can. I have nothing left. So the one day I'm like, I'll get some snuff. Keith, can I bum one? I'm like, sure, here. And they get in there and they're like, ooh, can't do that, can't pack it, gets all over my mouth. So people stop bumming chews.
Yeah.
That's why I switched to Cowboy Killers. Nobody wanted to have a Marlboro Red, so I switched to those. Hurt my lungs a little more, but it's all right.
Well, I'm going to jump in here. I feel like you guys have some issues that you're exercising right now. We'll get out of the tobacco demons. I got a trivia question for you.
Oh, trivia question. All right, we're done.
Don't
chew, kids. Don't chew.
Don't do it.
Don't chew.
Wherever your adventure takes you, count on Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's to make it memorable. From the timberline to the campsites to the lake and the range, get your family outfitted with the right gear. With premium brands like Worldwide Sportsman, Ascend, Instinct, Redhead, and Natural Reflections, they've got the apparel and the gear to make it the best adventure ever. Stop by today for a one-of-a-kind shopping experience in-store or online at BassPro.com and Cabela's.com. See for yourself at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's stores. Your adventure starts here. All right, let's talk about beer for a second. You ever notice there's a big difference between Busch Light drinkers and other beer drinkers? I like to say we live on the wild side. You know, a guy with a Busch Light in his hand, he's a man of the people. He's out there in the wild every day. He's in the trenches smashing bushies with a smile on his face. You know why? Because he doesn't care. He's not looking for a soulmate. He just needs something to wash that damn jerky down. And he's got himself a 12-pack of Freedom in a can. And when that can gets cracked, it's like opening a door to a whole different world. It's just a vibe. And if you haven't felt it, you should. So go grab yourself a case of bushies, give them a rip, and take a walk on the wild side. You've got things that matter. Memories, heirlooms, documents, firearms. And we all know that life is unpredictable. At Winchester Safes, they make sure life's unpredictable moments don't take those things from you. They use state-of-the-art methods that refuse to sacrifice quality. They put everything they have into their products, offering proven protection and peace of mind. There's only one safe company worthy of the title, the American Legend, and that's Winchester Safes. Follow at Winchester Safes or learn more on winchestersafes.com. Let's talk about Mountain Ops, a brand that I rely on to fuel my fire in more ways than one. I could sit here and talk about how undeniably essential Ignite is to my daily life. I could explain the benefits of the super greens, and I could ponder out loud how they got those super greens and super reds for that matter to taste so damn good. Or I could just give you a quick look into who they are as a company, because to me that matters more than anything. So here it is. They recognize God and acknowledge His hand in all things. They believe in being worthy of others' trust. They're reliable and honest with their information. And lastly, they take full and personal responsibility for their actions and the outcomes. There you have it. If you want to learn more about Mountain Ops and stay connected, check them out on social media at Mountain Ops or head on over to their website, mountainops.com. And remember, if you want to save some cash, use code Keefer. By the way, can you see my dog rolling around before you do that?
Oh, yeah.
My dog's on set.
He's just chilling.
We got Kenai on set, so if we get a random giant brown bear walk through, that's Kenai.
Yeah.
So I have this trivia question. You guys may know it. Maybe you don't. I'm going to ask you this. What was the first state to allow bow hunting, and what year was it?
Oh.
I didn't know this, and I feel like I should as a bow hunter.
The first state to allow bow hunting, and what year was it?
So Fred Bear's the king of it. Fred Bear's from Grayling, Michigan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Fred Bear would have something to do with it. However, Pope and Young, you've got Pope and Young was before or after. There was before, right? So the Pope and Young would have been before Freddie.
First state to legally.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Pennsylvania. Final answer.
Pennsylvania or
in what year?
Michigan, but I'd say Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, what year?
80s, 70s?
1956.
Ooh.
Final answer. I have no idea.
I don't know. It's a long time ago, I'd have to say, but I don't know. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess 61.
All right. Wisconsin.
Okay, so
Totally
wrong.
In 1934.
Okay, double
1934.
Wrong both times.
Just like Price is Right, you can't go over?
Yeah, it's $1.
In this a man by the name of Roy Case, in 1930, he was an avid field archer from Wisconsin, convinced a game warden to allow him to hunt deer with a bow during the gun season. And 4 years later, he begged the guy. 4 years later, they let him. And then that was the first year, 1934.
Isn't that funny that he had to convince someone to make something harder on himself? Right?
Yeah.
During the gun season, he's like, no, wait, I want to go do it with a bow. And they're like, I don't know about that. And it's like, no, this is actually going to be a hell of a lot harder.
Yeah, 1934.
So
maybe they were worried about the animal and like if the bow would do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So nothing to do with Fred Bear or Pope and Young
Or Pennsylvania.
or Pennsylvania or even in the same decade that we guessed.
No,
so
I
as
mean,
far as history goes, again, not a historian.
Well, Pope and Young, obviously, they were big parts of it, but I think they had to come after or before that. I don't know the history.
I don't know history either, but I need to learn more.
We need to brush
thank
up
you,
on it.
Mr. Case, for figuring that out in Wisconsin in the 30s. Say 34.
Yeah, and that was only 98, 91 years ago. I mean, bow hunting, honestly, it's not new, but the actual making it
illegal
sport is only 91 years old.
Yeah, that's great. Well, when you look back at, I mean, if there's a meme out there. It's probably one of the funniest ones I've ever saw. It's a guy. It's like an old Roman or something, and he's standing there, and it says the invention of archery. And he's like, I really want to stab that guy, but he's standing way over there. he's got like this spear in his hand, and then the next thing is he's standing there with a bow. And so I always found that funny. But archery's been around forever.
Yeah.
The atlatl is actually how it started. If you guys know what the atlatl is.
Yeah, you throw it basically.
It's like a curved thing, and you put what is now like an arrow, but more like a spear back then. You put it on the atlatl and throw it. That's kind of.
Is that what you did in Brazil?
No, that was an actual bow.
That was when I was stuck in Ecuador.
That was a 15-foot bow.
Casey was bow hunting in Brazil while I was stuck in Ecuador, but yeah, I
was bow hunting
crazy.
with the macuxi in Brazil, which was a wild and crazy experience. I met, and you were late to the party because
I got my permit denied in Ecuador. But good thing is I can go back now to Brazil for 7 years. I have a permit now.
Aren't you a citizen there?
I'm a citizen now.
It's about up now. Yeah. That was 2018.
That was. It was 2018.
No, we had the chief hunter of the tribe of the Makushi down there, and then the actual chief himself. So I didn't realize this, but their hierarchy, there's actually two of. There's the chief hunter, who provides for the village, and then there's the chief who just like hangs around and gets fat with all the shit the chief hunter brings into the village.
Yeah.
So, and the chief hunter wore a big jaguar claw around his neck, and that dude was so standoffish to me when I first got there, because our translator Dudu had introduced me to the Makushi as the Great White Hunter, which I don't know if that's where I've gone with that, but I show up there and this guy, exactly, right? This guy looks at me and he was like totally standoffish. I brought like a gift for him. I brought him a machete because I'm like, I mean, we'll bring some steel into this. Like they're gonna be happy, you know?
Yeah.
Yep. He was kind of like, yeah, whatever. And then he handed me a bow and I'm like, what is happening right now? And he kind of like pointed over to this big palm leaf or whatever it was. And he's like, brr. He obviously said a word. I don't know what that was. He wasn't a Neanderthal. He said something. But I went over and so he hands me this bow, and this bow is, I swear to God, is 6 feet tall. I have pictures standing with this thing.
So
it's like
big.
6 feet tall. And the arrow is every bit as long. So I go and I'm like, holy hell. And they want me to shoot this leaf.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, well, here we go. So I knock this arrow and I draw this bow back. It was probably about 780 pounds, I think was the poundage on this thing. So I draw it back and I get them like,
elephant
far
gut
enough. I let this thing fly and it goes right over top of the target. And I'm like, oh, I got this. Like now I'm feeling pretty good. I'm like, I got this shit. So I look over and he's still mean mugging the shit out of me. So I knock the second arrow and draw back and give her a rip. Goes right through the center of the palm leaf. And this guy is like my best friend.
Yeah.
From that day forward.
Yeah.
Came up and he's like, big old bear hug, and the steel was all of a sudden good.
Yeah.
The machete I took him was awesome now, and so
I feel like it's a scene from Walter Mitty.
It
you know
is.
when he's
It
like
is.
climbing, look for Sean Penn up that mountain, and then he gives him the cake, and he's like, oh, okay. He gets this machete and he eats some of the cake, and then come on, he lets him up. But that's basically how they work.
That's what
Or the
it was.
Wachutu in Ace Ventura, where he
I wasn't aware the Wachutu were biters. No, dude, that was a wild and crazy deal. We were,
but we got to back up and why were you? We got to let everybody know why you were there and some of that.
Yeah, so
fill them in.
Yeah, we were down there looking for the lost city of Z.
Yeah, we were.
We were retracing the steps of Percy Fawcett and the lost city of Z, and we were filming a show for the Travel Channel at the time called Code of the Wild, and we had a tip that what everybody thought happened to Percy Fawcett was actually false. Mm-hmm. Everybody thought he went one way and did one thing, but there was this little thread of like, but maybe he didn't, right? What if he did this? And there was firsthand account of him going through this Makushi village and setting out into the Amazon to head to the lost city of Z. And so that's the route that we decided to chase down. There's been so many people go the other way and try to find him in the lost city of Z. And if you're not familiar with that, it's basically a lost city of gold.
It's like an Indiana. He's like a modern day Indiana Jones, or I guess not a modern day, like old school.
Well, Indiana Jones was based
on that story,
based
right?
on him,
Yeah, Indiana Jones was pretty much made after Percy Fawcett
Yeah.
in his adventures. So yeah, that's what we were down there for. But we had to live with the Makushi while we were there, and that's kind of the native tribe that's down there, the indigenous tribe, one of them in Brazil. And we lived right amongst them, and we hunted. Hell, we were tracking down anteaters. We were hunting an anteater with a bow and like doing all this wild and crazy stuff. We did a big traditional feast. They had like the campfire and the whole like welcomed us into the tribe. And to this day, we are honorary like members of the Makushi. So we can go down and hang out with
You can.
with the Neanderthal grunt guy anytime.
Now, is there documentation? How do
they
they
won't
know?
kill me if I walk in there.
They're like the great white hunter.
Probably the
They're gonna
only guy.
recognize him. For
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
the only guy that they have ever seen that is a big giant red beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, they side eye you a little bit when you go in. They're kind of like, that guy looks different,
So the whole time Casey is doing that, which was an incredible experience, is when we got to the airport that morning at 3:00 in the morning, and my passport forms that you have to turn in, we had a EP and a couple of people that filled out stuff, and for whatever reason, mine was not valid. I have no idea.
Which is funny because that usually happens.
Yeah, it's usually the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, mine's good, Casey's is not. But in this case, it was not. And so they're like, you're not getting on the plane. You're done. And we're like, well, there's a crew of everybody here. And I'm like, okay. So they're like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, well, I'll figure it out. We had a translator named MJ that was in Ecuador. And we had just come out of the jungle of Ecuador on a different adventure that we could talk about in a different episode. But we're getting ready to head there to Brazil. And I was like, I'll stay and I'll go to the consulate in the morning and we'll figure this out. And because it was already, I couldn't get it done in a certain period of time.
I think it was Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, it was like a Sunday. Yeah, when I was like, I have to stay here. Well, they had to keep filming for the show. So Casey was like, we're going to go. And they could not, there's no way that we couldn't reschedule with these people who didn't even have like any form of writing. So we're like, all right, we're not going to reschedule. Casey's going to go.
Reschedule.
Yeah.
You bump us back
Can
on
you
your
put
calendar.
us on your Teams calendar?
On your iCal.
Yeah. Like that's not going to happen, right? So I end up spending 4 days in Ecuador trying to get myself legal to enter Brazil with the proper paperwork that needed to get done. And Grace, by the grace of God, Grace, who was our one of our producers on the show, she worked day and night from Brazil with the consulate to get this done. But I went into this guy and I sat down and I have MJ as my translator. And I sat down and I know Spanish enough when I drink tequila, like enough to get through. They don't speak Spanish.
No
They're like
basically.
It's like a mixture of Portuguese and Spanish where I was at, right? So I'm speaking to him in a little bit that I know, and the guy's just staring at me, and he's just death staring at me. And I'm like, okay, this isn't going anywhere. And he goes, so what are you trying to do? And I go, so you speak English? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I just thought it was really funny that you were trying
like a movie.
And I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, I'm already stuck here. So anyway, go through that whole process and I land and Grace stayed back and waited for me. Yeah. And they went on and did this filming. So I jump in the car with Grace. Neither one of us know who this guy is that's driving us. He doesn't speak 1 ounce of English. He speaks Portuguese. All I know is how to say is obrigado at the time, which is like hello. And so we're sitting in the back, we're driving down this road. Her and I are laughing that the whole thing happened. She's like, you're going to get to set. And then it's like, you're right into it. Like they're filming, they're going to get right into it. I'm like, okay. All of a sudden the car pulls over on the side of the road. 2 vehicles pull up next to us. 2 guys get out, full on, like I'm talking machine guns, handguns. I looked at her and I was like, look, I'll do what I can, but you got to save yourself because I'm going to die quick. I'll do everything I can to protect us. And I'm thinking we're in it. They're stealing us. And the guy knocks on the window and I'm like, oh my, he opens the door and he's like, we're your security. We'll take you the rest of the way. And I'm like, oh, you're on our side. He's like, oh yeah, you can't drive the rest of the way without us. And we're like, okay. So we actually had armed security that took us into this thing. You want to talk about a tense moment on the side of a street in the middle of Brazil? I'm talking like, this was like backcountry shit.
They put a bullet in your head and throw you to the side.
So I roll up on scene and you guys were there and there was the crossing that we were doing and some other stuff in this, and I roll up and I was like, I made it. And then they were telling me all the stuff that happened the night before and it was amazing. I mean, everything was incredible, but yeah, cool. You want to talk about crazy? That was insane. I almost got stolen in Ecuador.
So all of that work to get in the country legally, and 5 days later they smuggled us out.
Yeah, they did actually get us out in a completely different way than we came in.
To Venezuela.
Yeah.
Which was mind-blowing.
Not legal.
So we don't
come for us.
We get in this helicopter.
Grease the palm.
And we get in a helicopter and we were supposed to fly out to this launch point in basically the jungle where we were going to launch from. And we're flying there, and you know the guy, and you know how it is. Like when you talk to a guy and he doesn't speak English, he just nods his head and laughs. And he's like, yeah. And you know, well, it's not going to really have a whole lot of convo here, I guess. So we're flying, and he kind of points as we're flying along, and I look down and I'm like looking at this thing. I'm like, is that another helicopter? So I'm like, landing. He's like, Venezuela. I'm like, what? I said land. He's like, Venezuela. I'm like, no. I'm like, Brazil. He's like, Venezuela. I'm like, shit, what is happening?
Yeah.
So we land on the ground, and it was like, it's the closest I've ever felt to being in the military. Because we hit the ground and they're just like, like everybody jumping out of the helicopters.
Yeah.
And there was another helicopter sitting 20 feet away.
Yep.
And they made us run over to that helicopter, get in it, and keep flying.
Yeah. They're like, go
We
now.
took off. I'm
And
like,
we did.
what is happening?
And the whole production crew and everybody. I mean,
Everybody.
That was the third jump, and it was like go, and we're like, so we did, and we had enough time to stop because we flew up and we got weathered and had to come back down. And there's one picture of Casey that's fantastic. There's actually a video. We'll post it during this episode. He's standing in one side of this. There's a random rock that says Venezuela and Brazil. And he's doing the thing from Robin Hood Men and Thieves. I'm on the east side, I'm on the west side. And he's jumping back and forth on this thing. And we were literally, that's how close we were to being in both of them. Is like 1 foot was in each one.
Technically, I stood in 2 countries at one time.
You did. Technically, you did.
Incredible.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So
Fun fact.
But they should have probably told us that before we went there. Yeah. So we didn't.
I had no idea we were going to Venezuela. I don't know that we're still supposed to know that we went in Venezuela. I mean, it was like
the level of things that need to come together for a trip like that.
Oh.
I mean, I think Alaska's a lot, but when you start going international and when you start going helicopter to helicopter to helicopter, crew, there's so many things that have to line up for those large scale television series.
And then factor in culture differences, language differences, all the barriers that come with that, and it's just I mean, it's a whole different beast.
Yeah.
Kudos to our crew. We had an amazing crew. We had about 12, I think, a full-time crew that were just, I mean, we were traveling the world doing all that stuff, and I'm sure we'll get into way more stories throughout this podcast.
Many more,
but that one was in itself, that just started off incredible because we were down there for weeks on end. And that was like multiple shows down there. And what they call the fixers, which are, Doo-Doo was a fixer. Like his name was Doo-Doo. He fixed anything that we couldn't figure out how to do down there, basically. That's why we call him the fixer.
Well, he's the Doo-Doo.
He was literally the guy.
Yeah.
He knew everybody. Didn't wear shoes. Never wore shoes. He was
Rambo
about
hat.
4'1". And he was the man, and he would literally walk up to anybody at any given time, but you hear him rattle off, and then he's like, "Okay, you can go," and like security guards would open up, things would happen. He just knew how to
Where's
make it happen.
he from? What country was
Brazil.
he from? Brazil.
Yeah, he's from the Amazon.
He's born up in the the middle of like jungle Amazon, like middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But that was the old
Greased palm.
That's how they roll. I mean, that's how all those. I've heard countless stories, even guys on hunts when they go international. Where they get into those situations
In the stands, especially you get in the stands.
You get into that stand and they pull up and they're like, they hand them that envelope and they're like, okay, here you go.
Go on in.
That kind of thing. So,
welcome to our country. And we were welcomed, but
it's crazy.
It was crazy, man. There was a lot of fun, but there's a lot that goes into it for sure. But crazy details. I don't know. Fun stuff though, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I can't believe that was 7 years ago, man.
Yeah.
7.
Those
nuts.
The filming of that show was probably one of the most awesome things that I've ever had the chance to do. Mm-hmm. We were going to do a season 2. We came back for season 2, but they wanted to start to get into like
ghosts,
paranormal stuff,
which they still are in.
I mean, listen, paranormal is
massive.
It's unreal.
Maybe you should have.
Maybe we should have done it.
Well, I mean,
maybe we should have made that.
If you think about it, we could have done that show and just been like, I see one.
Or I don't see one. Because that's not unusual.
Exactly.
Right?
So
speaking of that,
you just nail it.
Finding Bigfoot's pretty much.
Well, we had the crew from Finding Bigfoot, so we have a lot
which
of
was
stories.
The crew.
That was the crew that we were with. Was the Finding Bigfoot crew. So
there's some stories we'll get into at some point about finding Bigfoot behind the scenes.
Gramps and the mic.
Yeah,
it's probably one of my favorite stories.
Was that the infrared? Oh
no,
Mike.
Gramps and the
infrared.
Gramps and the mic.
Yeah, Gramps and the mic
coming down off the mountain.
Yeah.
I'll just tell the story.
Yeah,
tell the story.
Tell the story real quick. So we had a sound guy. His name was Gramps. He's from Santa Cruz, California. He was awesome. He was a really, really cool dude. They were searching for Bigfoot, and he was coming down off the mountain.
He's a sound guy.
Yeah,
he's a sound guy.
Sound guy. He's coming off the mountain in the pitch black, and he's got his mixer and everything on his chest, and carrying this big pack. He's got the lav mics in and the cables, and as he's still got his headphones on. And as he's walking off the mountain, like solo by himself in the dark, like a couple 100 yards from the rest of the crew, in his headphones, he hears this like, and he's like, he starts to get a little freaked out. He's like, oh shit. He's like, I have the mics. Like, what the hell? I'm picking something up. It's following me. And so he's like, shit. So he like stops and sound stops.
Yeah.
He starts to walk again, stops, sound stops. He's like, oh my God. Like, he's thinking fucking Bigfoot is right here behind me.
We finally found him.
We found him, and he's stalking me.
We've tree knocked enough. He's come for us.
He's going to get me. So he starts to walk downhill again, and he's like, he speeds up. He's like, I got to speed up. So he just, and the faster he goes, the faster the rustling of the leaves. He's like, at any moment,
it's on him.
He's going to get attacked.
He's going to get attacked by Bigfoot. So he stops, and he looks down, and he realizes that one of the lav mics is hanging down on the ground, and it's hitting in the leaves as he's walking. Yeah. And so what he's hearing is the mic hitting the leaves. So
he's going to get killed by a lav mic.
He thought he was going to get eaten by Bigfoot, and it turned out to be the mic. Yeah. But what are the odds of, like, every time he stopped, the sound stopped? When he sped up, the sound sped up.
Yeah, Gramps is getting old.
Yep. God, he's funny. Great dude.
Good dude. Solid.
So we had a lot of fun on that show.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
We did. A lot more stories coming.
That kind of shit doesn't make the episodes, but that's the stuff that I probably remember more than anything. Is that kind of stuff.
It's just like a hunt.
Yep.
You don't really remember. I mean, you remember the actual shot.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, I gotta grab another beer.
Bush light up.
We got some. Hang on here. Got some pretty incredible news from Jared.
Oh, yeah.
Down in Ohio.
Yes.
Yeah,
Got a text on Monday.
Yep.
He says, Longshanks has been found.
Yes.
Which,
That's
the backstory of that, oh my God, it's like a relief. Backstory, Longshanks is a buck that's been on our Ohio property for 4 years.
Yeah. At least.
He's a minimum 7-year-old buck.
Yep.
And he was
Is that your Harley?
Yeah, that's my Harley. Ripping outside.
Someone's taking a bike for a ride out there.
Getting on it.
Yeah.
And he was a buck that we never actually saw on the hoof. We never did with our eyes. He was all over our trail cameras. We knew where he lived. And last year during the youth season of in Ohio, my youngest son Weston had a tag.
Yep.
So one part of the property we knew he was coming into regularly, daily almost. So we hunted the opener of Michigan. The 16th, the next morning, we got up in the morning, shot right down to Ohio, parked in the skinning shed at 1 o'clock, changed our clothes, took the tracker out to our parking spot, walked all the way east to the blind, got up in the blind, and an hour and a half later, Longshanks walks out 100 yards. And Weston was, buck fever. It's the first big deer he's ever hunted.
Yeah.
And he knew he knew it was Longshanks. We talked on the way down.
Yeah.
He knew that there's a great chance that this deer, this kind of legendary buck, was going to show up. Sure enough, there he is at 100 yards. We did all the practicing, the early on. I want you to pretend he's there. Is it solid? I actually had, and this was what ate me up, but I had a tripod that he could have, literally viced the loophole with he could have viced his gun into it. But he's like, Dad, I'm super solid, just kind of leaning in the front window. I said, okay, that's cool. So anyway, fast forward an hour and a half later, Longshanks walks in. And Weston's leaning out the front window. He's at 100 yards. Weston pulls the trigger. Longshanks, and there was another really good buck in there that he passed earlier. And so anyway, Longshanks jumps up and runs. I'm like, man, he must have missed him. And he runs up to our left, and he's just standing there. And I thought for sure I saw an impact shot, but he must not have. So we racked another shell in, 350 Legend, and we opened the side door. In that blind, it's got a door or a window in the door. He opens that up, and he's leaning out, and he's shook up at this point. And Longshanks is standing there at 80 yards, literally standing there and just looking. And later I understand why he did this, but the footage that we all passed around, that you saw, that we all saw, that next shot was just the next shot was 80 yards just in front of the shoulder, like kind of neck shoulder area.
Yeah.
Hits hard, really hard, but just not. It's one of those shots that you know is not going to bleed much.
Yeah.
But you have to get on him, and you hope that he bleeds. And where we were 200 yards from a property line, and so anyway, we get down, we find a little bit of blood. After much discussion with both of you guys, we decide to wait for the morning. We get back in the morning, and we lose blood right when he enters the timber, and we couldn't find any more blood, none. And Jared and I and Weston looked for 4 or 5 hours, zero blood, and it was disheartening because we thought he could have went on the neighbors, and the neighbors, like I said, was a couple 100 yards from there. And this particular neighbor doesn't allow anything. We can't go there during the deer season to look at the deer to track.
Yeah.
He doesn't allow it, and we always know that, and it's tough.
Yeah.
And you got to respect what a landowner. He didn't want his anything screwed up on his property, and you have to respect that. But it sucked because we all knew.
Yeah.
We had a feeling that's where he went.
Yeah.
So we waited all year. We hunted late season gun, muzzleloader.
Yeah.
He didn't show up, and he lived in this spot. He never showed up on any reveal. One time. We get the call a couple days ago. Longshanks has been found on the neighbor's piece where we thought. I don't know how far in, and Jared doesn't yet either.
Yeah.
And this story is going to have a chapter 2 next week because tomorrow I'm going down with Woody, and we're heading down there, and we're going to recover Longshanks.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So Weston was obviously super surprised and excited, and I put a lot of that on myself because I should have used that loopholed vice tripod top. I should have used it, but Weston, he's pretty strong-headed. He's like, I'm good. Like, I can make the shot, but he can make the shot when there's not a 150-inch buck in front of him. And then he got excited, and that first shot, which I found out later, I slowed it down. It just was under his heart and just shaved his skin on his belly.
Yeah.
And that's when he went up there and he ran, and I think he was just like, what happened?
Stunned a little bit.
Yeah, stunned, and we were able to get that second shot into him. So it wasn't ideal, but that story had no ending to it, unfortunately, but now it does. So we're going to go film the recovery and the whole thing. I called and we talked to the game warden. I got a kill tag with his tag from last year, so we're good to go. Communication's done. We just need to go get him. So that's going to happen tomorrow.
It's such a cool story. That's probably one of the longest, like between when it happened and when the recovery takes place.
Yeah,
that's got to be
been like
one of the
4
longest
months
that I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's people that have waited some time, but 4 months is a hell of a long time to go without a recovery. I had one similar a while back. It obviously didn't bleed over that long. It wasn't anywhere even near that, but that's just, I'm so happy for Wes, and kudos to the landowner.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Kudos to the neighbor.
Well, and Jared too, and this, we've hunted with Jared for 10 years now, and he had enough foresight to say, hey, this was the day we left. He said, I'm reaching out to the neighbor right now to say a youth hunter on our property had shot a buck, and we think he could be on your property. So if you see him or if you see a buck throughout the season at any time, and it looks like this, that's the one. And he just actually, the landowner stumbled upon it this last weekend, and he reached out to Jared. He said, this is your buck, we found it.
Well, and again, kudos, it's not a small buck. I mean, this is 150 plus, this is a big deer. I mean, this is a 150 plus inch buck. But I think during the season, you and I hunted a lot together after that. I was absolutely 100% convinced he was dead. We actually took one day, we weren't hunting that side of the property, and I'm like, we got to go. There's no way that deer's not down.
And that's where we focused our energy.
And we're like, we got to the fence line, and we're like, I'm like, this is the natural trail.
It's where he lived.
But he's
in
that thicket, and that we can't get in that thicket. We talked about it that day because the fact that he didn't come back to camera, the fact that he was such a regular on certain, and then just disappeared, was like, he didn't just run away. He's dead. We just got to find him. And that was the only place. So yeah, when you sent that text the other day, you're like, Longshanks has been located. I'm like, oh, I think all of us were like, we knew it, but it was like, to actually see it come to fruition. Good for the landowner. So thanks, buddy, for turning that in. Cause now you got a youth kid, shot his first big buck, and now he gets to have it on his wall, which is amazing.
And he was devastated. Like he felt like he let everybody down. He felt like he let me down and you guys down. I'm like,
I think we all feel that way still to this day. I don't think that ever goes away.
No.
Like when you have something like that, you're like, oh man.
Well, I think it increases when you're filming, right? So I think it increases. Like I know in the past because guys are behind us all the time and they're filming and they're giving up the same hours, days, time, and then they're relying on you at that moment to be like, make it happen. And when you don't, there is this sense of just like guilt.
Yeah.
And if it was just me by myself, I'd be like, well, I gave it all I could and I missed it. But there is a sense of guilt because you're like, I've kept you away from your family for 6 weeks as we chased this deer and then I missed it or something happened. And so there's a sense that I think it's heightened when you're filming.
Oh, for sure. And there's all this, the story that's building.
Oh yeah.
So, as a guy running the camera, you've laid the story down up to this point. All you need is an arrow running through the lungs. Yeah. That's what you need. Yeah. Or a bullet running through and then the story's done. And when that doesn't happen and the miss happens and we show misses too. We show everything.
Yeah.
So, that's the story. That's why I think, that's why I love hunting is regardless if you bring them home or not, there's a story that's going to be told. Yeah. And we've always decided to tell that story.
Anybody that ever tells you in hunting that they haven't missed is full of shit. That's just, I'm convinced.
They haven't hunted enough.
Yeah. Back in my days as a guide, you get the guys that show up and everybody's a sniper until you hit the range. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're all like, oh yeah, man, I shot this gun at 500 yards and I just put a quarter around all 3 shots. And then you're like, you're not even on the paper at 50. What are we doing here?
It ain't happening.
Everybody misses. It's how it goes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad it's going to be located. Can't wait to get him in here. We'll bring him in. Check him out. Bring him in here so we can see him.
Yeah, I'll bring him in as soon as I come back. We'll come back. But it's weird. It's like going on a hunt that is going to be successful.
Yeah, you're coming back to the buck.
I've been so excited for 3 days for tomorrow morning to go down there because I know we're gonna track a buck and we're gonna find it. Yeah. It's done. Yeah. So it's super exciting. Yeah,
so this is how I'm getting with shed season right now.
Yes,
I am all in on sheds, and usually I am but I don't. Maybe it's the older I get. I might like shed hunting more than actually hunting. Yeah. I don't know. It's just crazy. Yeah. I love going out and the prospect of finding 10 different bucks is pretty appealing.
I think this time of year is super interesting too because when I'm shed hunting, I think I learn so much about the property that I don't learn during deer season because we don't go in certain areas, right? And now it's like fair game. You're like, I'm just walking right through here. And I see the stuff. You see trails. You see things like trees, and you're like, I got to mark this. I'm coming back in early season. I'm going to hang this over the summertime. But you just see so much this time of year when you're shed hunting. I've learned so much about pieces of property from just shed hunting. And then you're finding them and you're going, so for sure they're here, right? Yep. Yeah. This is where they're living. Yep. And then when you find 5 or 6 in the same area, you're like, okay. So you're learning from it. So I love that part of it.
Yeah.
There's a guy, you're going to Ohio.
Well, yeah.
Look for sheds.
I will be,
there.
yes.
But there is, I don't know if you guys have seen this. So a guy in Ohio went out shed hunting and he found a human corpse.
Recently?
Yeah, just the other day.
Oh. Different kind of shed.
In Ohio, he went out shed hunting, and he came across a boot with a human foot still in it.
Just the Das Boot?
The boot, Das Booten, with the foot in the boot.
Just a boot.
Yep. So what's the story?
So, they're still uncut. It's literally
just happened.
Just happened, and it was in Ohio. And so the guy, I think it was 2 people. 2 people went out to shed hunt, and they're walking through, and they're like, what do we got over here? There's a human. I found these remains, but the part that threw me off was the boot with the foot still in the boot. And so it's under investigation, and so keep your eye out.
What was the state of the human? Was he deteriorate? Was it from this year? Was it from years ago? Was this One-Eyed Willie?
I don't know.
Was this
Chester Copper
Chester
Pot?
Copper Pot.
No, they're still investigating right now.
Ohio's not a big mafia area, so they're not lopping off feet. So unless the Amish are getting nuts down there these days, but I mean, I don't know. That's crazy.
That's all I could thinking is like that would be my luck because I'm training Kenai to shed hunt right now.
Yeah,
he'd come back with a boot in his mouth and a human foot, and I'd be like, I mean, come on, you're not a cadaver dog. Like, what are we doing here?
They do make those.
They do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they look. Keep your eye out for feet and boots.
I will. Yeah, we're gonna be hitting. I don't know. We're gonna meet the landowner at noon. We're gonna go in. I want to go in from our side because I want to know how far he went in. Mm-hmm. But I gotta have the drone. I'm gonna get some drone footage of the property and kind of where it's at, so we can kind of complete the story. I'm bringing the camera.
Nice.
But. Yeah, I want to go in from our side because I want to see how far he went in, actually. But whatever the landowner wants to do.
Just get him back.
I just want to get him back. He wanted
back.
to, landowner said, I'm just going to take the head and bring it back. Yeah. And I told Jared, I said, hey, if he can let us at least go up there because I want to document the story, like where he was at, see if you can get him to do that. So
good.
He's an Amish guy. So he's hard to get a hold of. Yeah. So Jared said like a day and a half later, he said, yeah, he'll meet us. So
well, I'm about to the point now I'm ready to take off and go shed hunting. So I know I can't make it down there with you, but I'm thinking of going sooner rather
we
than
should.
later. Maybe Scoot and Boogie just go to Missouri and screw around.
Oh, Missouri.
Especially because, I said, with training Kenai right now, to which I've never done. I've never trained a dog to shed hunt before, but it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reached out to Jeremy Moore over at Dogbone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the best.
I mean, like
Jeremy's the best.
He's the man.
He is the guru of training dogs to shed hunt, and so I'm hoping to have the boy there collecting a bunch of them sooner rather than later.
Love it. All right, piss break. Let's take a break.
I literally,
I can see him. He's leaning. It's time for JB. Okay, old man's got to take a piss. We'll be right back. For some of us, the hunt never stops. Grizzly understands that more than most. Rugged, reliable, and built to never back down. Whether you're on the trail, by the water, or deep in the dark timber, Grizzly is by your side. Tough enough to take on the wild and ready for whatever you can throw. Grizzly is committed to products that never let you down. Always on the hunt with Grizzly.
Out here in the wild, precision isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. Leupold Optics is built on the foundation of American craftsmanship, where every features function first. For over a century now, they've combined dedication and technology with a relentless put-it-to-the-test attitude, creating optics that stand up when everything else stands down. When it matters most, you need the best. That's what you get with Leupold Optics. While other companies out there warranty failure, Leupold guarantees performance for life.
Some call it out on the trail. I like to call it the road less traveled. The kind of place where the going gets tough. That's where Tracker Off-Road comes in. Made for those who won't back down. Tracker Off-Road delivers the hardest working machines with the greatest capability at the strongest value in the industry. Built by those who know what it takes and designed for those who don't turn back. Tracker is dedicated to delivering machines that let you get the most out of your day and your dollar. Ready to take on your next adventure? Go with Tracker Off-Road.
Every shot counts. And when it's time to make it count, you want the best. Winchester Ammunition has built its legacy on a commitment to innovation by continuously pushing what's possible. In the heartland of America, the American legend crafts ammunition that's purpose-built, reliable, accurate, and ready to perform no matter how harsh the conditions. Whether you're hunting or shooting for sport, Winchester will be there.
Are we back?
We're back.
All right, okay.
Real quick before we get into, I know your clip of the week's coming.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's up, big guy?
Look at him.
For those of you that can't see, if you're listening, Kenai just came into the set, and he's in
It's
the
a
back.
very
He's the biggest
shouldered
Labrador.
Yeah.
He's beauty. He's a beauty.
beautiful lab.
Yeah. So there he is. He's visiting on set.
They're just like humans.
Just stay there, bud.
There he goes.
Yeah.
Hat of the week. Had to get in my hat collection, It's my Ryan Kirby.
Oh yeah, the original.
The man. Ryan Kirby art. If you haven't got and looked at his stuff at this point, where have you been?
Yeah.
Ryan Kirby is one of the premier, in my opinion, is the premier artist for wildlife art in the country. Casey and I went down there and had the pleasure of hanging in his studio for a couple days and telling his story. But he came out with these sweet hats, and this is a whitetail buck, kind of running, and it's all drawn. It's one of his hand sketches on a hat. So that is my hat of the week.
Ryan Kirby.
Yeah. Kirby's got so much cool stuff. One of my favorite things he's got is the poster for aging whitetails.
Yeah.
If you have not seen that, go check it out.
Check it out.
It is
in the
my bathroom.
The flyways.
Flyways is cool.
Yeah. But the aging whitetail one is unbelievable.
Yep.
He captures it to perfection.
Yep.
So
it's so
cool.
good.
Shout out to Kirby. He's in Boone too. So hopefully everything's
North
going
Carolina.
well down there in North Carolina from all the hurricanes and all that stuff. So we checked in with him. He was doing
he
good.
said it was rough, but they're super high,
they're
way
high.
up on the mountains,
Yeah.
so it didn't bother them. But
So check out Kirby. All right, so we're coming to the time where we're doing Clip of the Week. This is this week's Clip of the Week. Brought to you by circa 2009. I went back and found the very first video that was posted on our Rusted Rooster channel from 2009.
Oh, God.
And there's so many things that happened during this, but this is something that we can talk about because there wasn't one of these shot really before we did our first one. So this is the clip of the week. The guys are going to roll it. Rack focus.
Rack focus.
Oh,
baby.
the old pre-rooster. The old
There it
intro.
is.
There it is. Look at these guys.
Look at that.
angle.
Look at the thick cheeks.
Oh, and I had no depth of field there. I shot that at like 16.
Look at that.
There it is. What an epic song. The horse trainer.
There's some funny things here that are great. So I have a limp still.
Post crash.
Post crash. Look at that.
I love the.
But right here, when I whip the snow, look at the kick.
We had
Ready?
a
And kick it.
plexiglass. We had a plexiglass with that. Trekking through the big creek. All the camera tricks.
Wind.
So much wind.
Yeah.
Decatur.
Everybody wears knee-high rubbers in the mountains.
There it is, guys.
Backcountry quest with knee-high
Look at
lacrosse
that.
boots.
All right, so if you're listening, not watching, 2009, we shot our first ever Backcountry Quest intro.
Yep.
And that is when they created the best intro category for the Golden Moose Awards back in the day.
16
And I don't
years
care
ago.
if you've got a television show out there and you're saying it's different. I'm telling you right now, we created the intro. Kiss my ass.
I
'Cause
remember.
You know, you all copied us. Don't lie. It happened.
I mean, looking back, just remembering how we tried to create this unique intro when they were just rock and roll music and kill shots back then. We wanted a little bit of a story. But I remember we put it together. We put all the time. We filmed behind the scenes of doing everything. I remember Monty Daniels at Sportsman Channel at the time. Now he's at OSG, Outdoor Channel. We said, hey, dude, we put so much time into this intro. You are creating an intro category, whether you like it or not. And he said, okay, I guess we'll create it. So yeah, first year we won the best intro of the category.
That was the first time that I look back and I can actually remember trying to create, on at least in my brain, a cohesive story through film, A to Z.
Yeah.
Like, shot for shot, how do we put this together and how do we build this story out? Prior to that, it was point and shoot and run the camera and grab whatever happens, right? That was purposefully shot, scene by scene by scene.
And I still have. You guys know me.
You don't throw anything away.
I don't throw anything away. I
hoarder.
still have that treatment for the intro. And I swear to God, I just looked at it last week. I was going through looking for a whole bunch of stuff. It's the 2009 Backcountry Quest intro, and it's detailed shot by shot by shot by shot.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So
We brought in horses.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. And those horses are not mountain horses.
You
Those,
see how fat that
those are
fucker
the
is?
fattest horses that they were the only ones we knew. Those were fat ass horses.
They're Budweiser
They
horses.
were
Living on
Clydesdales.
oats and molasses.
Yeah,
I
so we
mean,
brought them in
damn.
for that. We got the tent out of one of our barns, and we had to put that tent up. And that tent, taking that to the backcountry the way that we do it now, that was like a 500-pound tent that we set up.
So heavy.
And then we had one of our machines, the Kramer. Remember the Kramer, where we got up, and the Kramer was a big bucket loader that we had on the ranch. And at the time, Casey and I were living on a ranch, and that we had all the equipment that we needed, and that was all shot at the ranch. And then I'm remembering it was before depth of field, before all the lenses, and we had to get the boot had to be way up here. Jason was laying upside down,
I was
trying
using
to get the shots.
Sony V1U, and this is right before Panasonic had just come out with a camera that shot in 24p.
Yeah.
But this shot a simulated progressive look, so it shot at quote unquote progressive frame. It was a 24p look. Also, I still had never shot with this is before like the 5D changed the world for storytelling, and you could use different lenses. So it was all baked in. It was a kit lens. It was a handheld unit. So I'm trying to get some crazy depth of field of the sky, and I didn't even know enough to say.
We kept going new stump. Remember, try that stump. Nope, try that stump, and it kept like,
it was ridiculous.
And let's not just graze over the goatees in the pit in that setup.
What goatee? It's half of a goatee.
Look at that little chin beard that we both were rocking at the time.
Beautiful.
I mean, that could be the last time I don't think that I've ever had not a beard at that
chin
point.
strap.
Not to mention a quick 70 lbs on ourselves.
Is it possible to look younger 16 years later than you did back then? You both look better now.
I'm like the Gene Hackman of the hunting world. I'm going backwards.
Start to care about yourself a little bit. You know what I mean?
You start to pay attention to what you eat.
I came fresh off of 20 years of hockey, and I'm like, dude, I'm going to eat everything, including myself. That's what happened.
I was guiding at a retirement home for guides. It was steak and lobster every Wednesday.
That was pre-dropped.
Pre-dropped, just hammering the butter, baby. I was loving life at that point. I was crushing that and Captain Morgan's and Sprite and ripping
milk.
That's what I was doing at that point right there. That was insane. But I thought that would be fun to go back and revisit, because I'll say it again. That set a trend in the outdoor space, and there was always like the intro of like, guys catching fish and doing something, but that's the first time that we actually built, to your point, a story from A to B and tried to make a really amazing intro for a show. And that was how we were trying to set ourselves apart at that time for Backcountry Quest. And it was just fun to look back on and see. And then over the course of the years, the intro became the thing where every single show started just crushing out intros. And every year we had to come up with another
minute and a half,
and it's like, oh man, they were getting long, and it was like these mini films before these shows. And up until then, it was just credits rolling, and that was the music, and welcome to the great outdoors or whatever it was. And now
now there's no intros
and
at
now
all.
we're reversed, and now it's like, and the show starts, and we're ready to go, because everyone was like, man, that was way overbaked, but it was so fun back then to create those intros.
It was fun, man. Every year we had a new one.
I look at that, and what I can't believe is when we did that, I would have been 8 years older than your daughter.
Holy shit.
And even Gib.
I know.
8 years older than
you're 26.
Than your oldest right now.
Yeah, that is crazy. Think about that. Wow.
To put it into perspective, like that is
shit, boys. We've been doing this a long time.
Long time, man. Jeez.
Man, that's crazy. Well, I think it's awesome. I wanted to show that to you guys. I'm going to try to keep digging. I got more. The problem is I got too many. And wait till we get to the skits.
If you some of the skits, I know there's a skit out there.
If you get stumped,
swingy.
I got a couple of good
some secrets
skits
that aren't on Vimeo.
I got skits,
that are in my secret
skits
folder.
And bloopers, because that's the second time we changed the game, as we started to do skits, and that's when all of a sudden some of those guys today are still latched onto skits. I see them all the time on Instagram. I'm like, wow, we're still rocking the skits. Fine, good for you, man. I love it. I think it's great. So just the progression of the hunting industry along the way, and it's fun to be a part of it. But that one in 2009. Backcountry Quest, shot in Michigan, with all the tricks
in the northern timber and pines of Grayling.
Grayling, the home of Fred Bear. So
and the Asaba River, more importantly.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, if you stick with us for episode 4, you'll get to see, hopefully get to see Wes's buck.
We'll bring him in.
Long shanks, maybe a boot with a human foot. If you find one of those,
never know.
Bring it back with you. But she's been a good episode, boys.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, do all the stuff, share, and give us comments, give us feedback. We're having a good time doing it. Hopefully you're having a good time listening. Wilder Minds.
Mama say it's a new day song.